watch the trailer for a second here, it seems as if you can go back and forth between these two forms. Unlike D.Va, where D.Va, you know, goes boom, and then your baby D.Va, and then you go back into your mech. It seems as if, and I'm gonna say this C right here would be my guess. You could, oh, maybe it's the E. It's probably the E. Hold on, let's watch more. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another Marvel Rivals character spotlight. Last time we did Doctor Strange, and I'm actually gonna show you a little bit of Strange at the beginning of this. And this time we're gonna do Bruce Banner, who I believe is the diva of this game. Based on what everything looks like, but we're going to get into it. There's a lot to actually talk about with Bruce, so hopefully this makes up for the semi-short episode with Doctor Strange, but I also want to show you something with Doctor Strange directly at the beginning to reinforce my point that I didn't realize was here until I watched the trailer. Like I said in the Strange video, the more times I watch this trailer, the more things I realize, the more things that I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's interesting, that'll be fun. So, obviously, this game is going to have a lot to offer. So, like always, if you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends and family, all that fun stuff. Like I say in all of these videos, comment the character you want to see me do a spotlight for. I will spotlight any of them, including all the niche ones that we just see at the end of the trailer. But, without further ado, let's get into it.
It's nano time.
Okay, so first things first, if you see Doctor Strange right here is holding the shield, so I do think this is definitely more of like a Reinhardt shield, which is really interesting and makes me believe he's a tank. So here's Bruce Banner, which I didn't think he would be a character you'd play as. I just assumed you were always the Hulk and the Hulk would be a tank. But Bruce Banner only has 200 health and 2 abilities. A shift and a Q. Q is your ult, obviously. And he has just a little pew-pew that he holds on to. And then if we watch the trailer for a second here, it seems as if you can go back and forth between these two forms. Unlike D.Va, where D.Va, goes boom, and then your baby D.Va, and then you go back into your mech. It seems as if, and I'm gonna say this C right here would be my guess. You could, oh, maybe it's the E. It's probably the E. Hold on, let's watch more. Okay. So, watching more, and this is why I need to watch. So the C actually looks like that's the team-up ability. So maybe only specific characters will have team-ups. That's interesting. Again, something I just realized while watching this trailer for the first time right now. This is a jump. This looks like a shield. So I'm going to say the E is what transforms you back and forth. And then so this E, if we go back a little bit more, right, is your shift. And if you notice, though, this was almost, let's go frame by frame. There's a frame at which, so this is still at 0, and then Hulk has a different charge. So I'm going to say Bruce Banner has an ult, and Hulk has an ult, which could be super cool and interesting to see. But then Hulk has this huge jump, and I believe it's the left click is this jump angle, is what it looks like to me. But you can just jump up into the air and catch people, so who needs a, point and click, aim tracking character when you can just play a tank that jumps up and grabs them and then does things like this to Namor. Now, they don't show us how much health Namor had before, but Homie took 25, 30, so Homie takes about 35 health in auto from Hulk right now, which is insane. But I guess if Hulk's a tank, it doesn't really matter, right? And then obviously, so we're seeing that, abilities, you can't do anything while you're landing, punching. Hulk has unlimited punches, which is super cool. Hulk also has 900 health. So I think the 900 to, so what, Strange was 600 plus 800, so 1,400, but Hulk has 2 different forms. I think health for tanks is going to be really wishy-washy. And we're going to have a bunch of different options, which is actually cool. Especially, like, So Strange looked like he had ranged attacks. Hulk is a melee into a range. So I think actually one of the things that this game might do very well, and I don't know yet because I haven't gotten to play it, is make playing a tank interesting and enjoyable, even if you're just constantly playing tank and you're just constantly trying to be the front of your team and things like that. And I could be completely wrong. Hulk could work exactly like Baby D.Va and D.Va, and you could get you get your Q all the way up in Bruce Banner form, you turn into Hulk, and then when Hulk goes down, Bruce just like shrinks, and then he's just Bruce Banner for a little bit. But I think overall it's really cool. And then obviously the C ability, which hold on, I want to look at something. Does Strange have a C? I went too far back. He doesn't. So your C ability has to be your team up ability. And that would be why.
Strange is here.
And that would be why as and that would be why this says C to infuse, which by the way I did just see. I was just gonna say this is yellow. But so team ups are only specific characters because Strange doesn't have this. This button doesn't exist for Strange. This button didn't exist for Spider-Man. It didn't exist for, I don't remember the other character I did, but it didn't exist for that character either. Oh, Loki. Loki didn't have a C. So there must only be specific characters. So I guess we'll find out then if that does mean that it's specific characters that like know each other, like Hulk and Iron Man make sense, or if it's just, oh, Hulk has this ability, oh, Rocket has this ability, things like that, which is also fine. But just getting an idea for those would be interesting. Or maybe it's Groot that has the ability, and maybe it's only tanks that can do it, in which case then Strange is a support again, and there's a whole different conversation. Watching trailers is hard, and I overthink a lot of things. But I think the coolest part about Hulk's kit is that you can do this to a teammate. You can just give them your gamma radiation.
It's nano time.
And I know that in a video before, I said that this was the alt. It's not. This is just a regular Iron Man ability, but we'll talk about that later. I do believe it's actually just his right click, but I gotta look at it more to figure it out. And presumably, based on what we've seen, so there is the gamma radiation button for Iron Man. I have a feeling he still has it. But what it looks like it did is it let Iron Man break an entire pillar, which makes sense considering Hulk just breaks things. And then I do want to talk for a second. We can obviously see a few things. One, the terrain that breaks is going to actually affect the map, right? Because you can see spider webs. So Spidey webs are hitting here. Then Groot is building like over it, and they're shooting over it. So that's going to be interesting. And I just want to point out again how awesome it is that there's, world destruction in a 6v6 shooter. So Hulk is interesting, and I don't have a great idea about how some of it's going to work, mostly because it's two characters put into one. Bruce Banner is pretty self-explanatory, has blaster, run around, shoot blaster, presumably build up alt, hit Q, become Hulk, and then Hulk jumps at people and punches them, and infuses his teammates, basically. And then the big thing is going to be, how does that transition go back and forth? Can you do it freely? It doesn't really look like it. So I would assume it works as if, it was D.Va, but I'm not 100% sure. So that's really Hulk. I don't know. Some of these, I feel like, I have so much to talk about, and then I sit down to talk, and I'm like, they're not that long, but I think that's okay for, first understanding analysis type things. So like always, if you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends and family, and have a great day.